let's get started. Okay, so for all of you who joined recently, so we're going to introduce you to a brand new product called EON Interact. So it allows for code-free touch and go content creation with AI support. We're quite excited to show it to you. So let's get started. A quick agenda on how we're going to pace today's session. So we're going to have a short introduction to EON's products for a quick 5 minutes. This is for some of the new clients and the new partners who are coming on board EON-XR Platform to give a quick look at all our product family. And we're also going to give a very short look at the new UI that's going to come out in the next version release. So you're going to get a quick view on how it's going to look like. We're quite excited to share that. And then we'll deep dive into the EON Interact product showcase itself. And it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. And after that, we're going to do live Q&A for 15 minutes. Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, so here's a quick summary of EON products. We started off with EON-XR back in 2019, and it allows everyone to create their XR experiences using their smartphones, tablets, or desktop devices as well. And the beauty about EON-XR, it doesn't require any code. Anyone can, quickly use the application to create experiences. And the beauty about EON-XR is it is not only cross-platform compatible, but it allows you to share your experiences with other people around the world as well. Now, in 2021, we collected the feedback from various enterprise customers, and we launched a new product called Merged-XR. The idea of Merged-XR is to allow you to create digital twins. So you can actually snap the 3D model on top of the real-world objects. You can use it for real versus digital comparisons. You can use it for sales and marketing purposes. You can also use it for training and certification as well. So, and we didn't stop there. So we actually enabled spatial meetings. So this was one of the most used product from the time it was launched, because it allows us to kind of create a shared experience and allow our participants to join us in the shared experience. And, they can create their own avatars. Some of you might have already tried to create your own avatars. It was quite fun to use with EON-XR. So, and you can interact with your fellow participants. You can actually do collaborative experiences. You can also learn together or train together as well. Now, earlier this year, so we launched another product called Metaverse Builder. So, and if you have joined our previous webinars, we have actually covered a lot of Metaverse Builder. Today also, we will actually, get into the Metaverse Builder, because EON Interact and Metaverse Builder works hand in hand. And that's the beauty about EON-XR Platform. All the products work together seamlessly and makes it easier for you to create experiences. So the idea of Metaverse Builder is to, make it even more easier to create experiences. You can just walk and talk. You can just say something such as engine, and we have an AI that will actually search online for the repository of 3D models and give you various options to create experiences. So today we're going to take a look at EON Interact, and since we're going to do a live demo, I'm not going to talk about it now. So yeah, so let's get started. So thank you, Marcin. So Marcin, if it's okay, if you can share your iPad screen, great. Good. So before we get into that, Marcin, if you can explain a bit about the new UI.
Absolutely, no worries. So the official release, and maybe just to get everyone on site, the application itself is still the same one as you are downloading EON-XR. So if you are first-time joiner and you haven't used our application, going to the Google Play Store or to the Apple Store, you can download the EON-XR application, which is available there for free to download. And for the existing customers and the new partners as well, we have this ability to log in and create your own account. So that's one of the things. And my assumption at this point will be that each of you already have the access both to the web platform as well as to the login and your institution. So what I will demonstrate briefly in this case is the changes that are happening, that will be happening to this application in a very near time, because in practically less than 2 weeks, on the December 12th, we are planning to do the massive rollout, and you will be informed about all the changes. So here is a little bit of sneak preview. after login, one of the major change that we are doing in application, we're doing a name change for the type of the learning activities that you could create with EON-XR. From now on, they will be called the experiences. We use a little bit of trick here using the X as a name, is just to making sure it's a uniqueness, and it's also encapsulating the fact of using extended reality, mixed reality, and over all of the new technologies, as well as giving an open understanding to merging the 3D models, 3D assets, and the lessons, as we called them before, and the content on the one name in that case. So the change in the UI, as you guys can see here, is the fact that we are more towards the collaborative, towards the social aspects of the virtual and augmented reality, that's where the metaverse overall is coming. And that's why we also, as one of the first things you're going to be seeing, is the amount and scorecard and analytics, and in regards to being able for people to collaborate in this space. We have, as before, we have ability to use the offline experiences. We are focusing right now more on a collaboration by promoting a joining meeting and joining EON-XR meeting, joining special meetings, meeting as well. One-time passcode available here, also focus on the new product, EON Universal, and ability to finally connect your creations on your mobile device, your creations on your desktops, together with the head-mounted displays, either that will be on the devices like Microsoft HoloLens, or devices like Oculus, Meta Quest 2, and also Meta Quest Pro. From that perspective, not forgetting about the majority of the head-mounted display solutions like Vive and similar solutions like Oculus PC-based virtual reality solution. And Import 3D, also the change in here and improvements related to the integrating of the EON-XR together with the third-party libraries, extending and simplifying the process of bringing the easy-to-use, easy-to-interact content inside the EON-XR, enhancing our library overall. As per the changes also, so on the side panel, you can see, and I'm actually working right now on the preview version. So there might be some of the changes on the final tweak be within that, but there will be also some change in regards to the way the content, accessing the content, to make it easy, to make it more structured, make it more organized, based on the feedback that we're receiving from our partners. We integrating that, plus also dividing the content into the different categories and being able to control it from your profile. On the profile, on the other hand, we are also gathering more information about how many experiences, how many followers and following people you're going to get. We're not forgetting, of course, about the account info, and in this case also focusing still on the more of the social aspect of the using XR. In the social aspect, we also provide to put more information about yourself, so to allow other people to get to know you and open the metaverse, not only within your institution and promoting within the paid institution, but also open to the possibility of metaverse collaboration with the others. My interest is another section there that will be available, allowing you to select what kind of levels of knowledge you are interested in. Also, it will automatically, based on that, allows you to find or be exposed to those experiences that the others will share, the others would like to promote, and providing that information to you within your institution, as well as with external institutions, if you will allow so, if the lead admin will allow it. Not forgetting about the 3D avatars, and we're also increasing some of the functionality of our avatars right now, adding, and I'm smiling a little bit because that also came from a feedback of a customer, adding a legs to it. I mean, adding an ability that the avatars will be able to be presented in the full body scale together with some information. Still supporting a collaboration with the Ready Player Me and making the process very easy to kind of create the avatars in a few seconds. So that's per the one of the change, and the other change is related to the organization of the work. So you still have a home, my workspace, and my jobs. And in sense of the creation, there is a plus sign on the bottom right corner, which allows you, when you're pressing it, allows you right now to create either the formal lessons currently called the experiences, as well as use this new product called EON Metaverse Builder, or within your license as well. And maybe for that, if you allow me, Kartik, I'm going to go into the Metaverse Builder, of course.
Sure.
And if you, the thing is still, I don't want to steal your thunder here. I'm just to technically support, but feel free if you would like to guide me and work with me on some of the other elements.
Sure, Marcin. Can I request you to place the avatar on the floor, if you can? So, and we will place the Boeing 777 cockpit.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll try to do that. I'm in a green screen, so please excuse me. I will be sharing a little bit of my private space, but that's what it is. So plus Metaverse Builder, then I'm going to be placing the avatar on the ground.
Yeah, there you can see, as Marcin mentioned earlier, we now have avatars with legs. So it's quite amazing to see. So so actually you can't hear now, but the avatar is actually asking us to to say what do you want to do today. So what do you want to learn today? And as you can see, the microphone is picking up what I'm talking as well. Marcin is going to change that, and he's going to search for Boeing 777 cockpit. So,
Boeing 777 cockpit.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I think you have to remove the word yes. So, okay, go to XR library. Oh, okay. Maybe remove the term Boeing, Marcin. So maybe in your library, just search for the word 777. There you go, the first one. Thank you. So this process is exactly the same as the Metaverse Builder. So you can actually say something. You can use your microphone. You can also type in. So we do support multi-language as well, as you know. You can type in your own language, and our AI engine will search for the relevant 3D models from the vast library of EON-XR, and will give you access to it. Okay. Now, what we did is we placed a cockpit model, and right now Marcin has been scaling it up. So Marcin, if you can scale it a bit more, please. Yeah.
Just a second, because in the same time my avatar is also talking to me, a little bit interrupting.
Okay. Yeah.
So you want to show it in 1-to-1, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. You would have noticed now that we do have the knowledge portals here. So that automatically appeared on top of the 777 cockpit engine. So we made it even more simpler now. So you don't actually have to, place the model and then say to the, EON-XR app what to do. The avatar, which is there in our room, will actually kind of automatically search for the relevant knowledge portals and give it to us. Of course, this is an optional feature. You can, while placing the 3D model, you can choose to disable it, or you can choose to enable it as well. So right now what's happening is, as Marcin was saying, the avatar, plays the knowledge portals, and it is talking, explaining to us what can be done. So Marcin, since today's focus is on EON Interact, I would request you to kind of, you can stop that. You can close the knowledge portals for now. So, yeah. Marcin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I done it.
Okay, great. Thank you. So if you notice that on the left side, we see a new icon, an icon with a, it's actually highlighted in blue color where Marcin is placing his mouse cursor now. So that is a new icon that will allow us to enable and disable knowledge portals. Okay, so now, Marcin, can you please select the plus icon on the bottom right? So I know you can't place a model on the real scale, right? So maybe scale it up slightly bigger until you are comfortable with. So yeah, I think, this should be good enough. Great. So if you can select the plus icon, Marcin, on the bottom right. Okay, so you would see a new icon with a hand icon at the bottom, at the far end. As you can see, the Marcin has enabled the, the help. So it shows us what each options are. So we are now showing EON Interact. So Interact is the very last icon that you can see with a hand. So Marcin, can you please select that? Okay, so now you see a new wheel that appears on the right side. And this wheel actually has various options. As you can see, some of them are actually enabled, and some options are not yet available, but they're going to come in the future. So we're going to start off with the animation. So Martin, if you can scroll to find the animation icon, there you go. Thank you. If you can select that. So it's going to ask us where to place it. In this case, so Martin, let's do like this. Let's show our participants how a pilot gets trained on starting up this cockpit. Okay. So there are 3 steps. The first step is he would need to kind of set the right altitude. So if you can go closer to the dashboard, friend. So yeah, and slightly towards your right. Yeah, and slightly on the top. You would see like a knob that says 2000, right? So there's a knob next to below it. Yeah, that one. Yes, you can place it there. So as you can see, what Martin is doing is he's physically moving his iPad closer to the relevant object. And these are the list of animations that are available for us within this 3D object. So right now, the first step is to select the altitude selector. So we're going to select that. So there you go. And you can see it's selected. And there's also another option to loop it. So for the sake of demonstration, we're going to loop it. And if you can see closer where the hand icon is, the knob is getting rotated. So that's the first thing that they would actually adjust. So, and Martin, let's keep it to loop so we don't have to change anything. Press OK. Now it's asking how to trigger this animation. So Martin, if you can scroll down, there are about 6 different trigger options available for us. So to start off with, we're going to start off with the very first one, that is to select the part. That means the minute you touch the part, within the AR experience, then the animation gets played. So yeah, so the first one, select next, please. Yeah, and go closer. Yeah, and tap on the object, tap on the knob. There you go. Select confirm. And the magnifying glass shows us that that is where the first interact option is enabled. And the way to trigger it is the users have to go and tap on the knob, and then the animation will be played. Okay, so Martin, let's add 2 more animations. So the next one is, if you can see, there is actually a small dial right next to the magnifying glass. So please select the animation icon again. It's on the left side. Yes. So select the animation icon again and place it there. And here, select the vertical speed scroll. Yeah, and let's keep it to loop. So you can say OK. Great, and let's leave it for part. Great. So now let's do the next one. So yeah, select OK. Thank you. The next one is where you can see the number 148 on your left. So this is the third step that they have to adjust. And so select the animation icon again, place it, and this time around, I think we're going to do I think it is the heading button push. Yeah, yes. So, and select next. So after, select the trigger part. Nice. And then the pilot is now ready to accelerate, and he's going to push the lever down to start the engine. So Martin, can you please select the final animation? So select the animation icon again. Yeah, place it closer. Okay, great, thank you. Tap it and thrust lever back. Fantastic. Okay, so as you can see, so this is the trigger animation. So what we are doing now is, instead of actually using the animations icon to manually select the animation, we're asking our participants to go and tap, and based on the 3D object, based on the purpose of the learning, the topic that we are learning or training, the interactions can be triggered. So these are the 4 different animations that we have actually added. So Martin, let's show to our participants how it looks like in play mode. Maybe you can close the lesson and play again. Yeah, thank you. And as you can see, you don't have to select save. It saves automatically. And here we are. The experience is already created, and Martin is now launching the lesson. So right now we are viewing the lesson that we've just created in play mode. So, great. So, yeah, go close. Thank you, Martin. If you can, select, there you go. So you can see there are some highlighted parts in yellow color. So this is optional. Like this is during the learning time, our learners can actually select the interact icon on the bottom right, and it shows what are the points that we can actually select and interact. But we can also disable it and then go and manually tap on it as well. So Martin, can you go and do the sequence of what we have done just now? Yeah. So step one is is to tap. No, not double tap. It's a single tap.
I tap singly, doubly.
Okay. So yeah, there you go. I can see it's rotating. Yeah, nice. Thank you, Martin. And select this variable speed scroll. That is right next to it.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Nice. So as you can see how the animations are getting triggered. So, and now please select the next one, that is selecting the heading. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
It's easy. It's too small. I didn't set up correct scale karting probably, and that's the reason.
Okay.
After one click, it goes very quickly to the double click.
Okay, I think that's okay, Marcin. And finally, you can select the lever and you can see it's pressing down, and that's good. So, and this is how you can actually create it. So now let's explore more, what more we can do. So we have only explored one option, that is playing the animations, but there are many things that you can actually do with EON Interact. So let's do that. Marcin, if I can request you to go back to the edit mode again. So as you know, with EON-XR Platform, all the experiences that you create are always editable. You can always, edit the experiences anytime, anywhere, customize it. And once you customize it and, close it, if your application is published, your users will get access to the latest updated version as well. Okay. So what Marcin is showing now is, it's like the help icon. It actually shows what each object is, and, it's kind of easier for the new users to understand what they have to do. So pretty simple to use, and the platform allows the users to kind of use it straight away. So with as little training as needed. Okay, now Marcin, can you please select the thrust lever magnifying glass, which is closer to you?
Just a second, Kartik.
Sure. Okay, now we can see there's a plus icon next to it. So this plus icon, it allows us to add more interactions to the same trigger. So in this case, maybe Marcin, for the demonstration purposes, we'll actually add some sound. If you can select the speaker icon, yeah. Okay, and you can actually choose any sound for now. So it should be fine. So there are some sounds that are available, the predefined sounds, but you can also upload the sound from, from your device as well. Okay, so
the only thing is you will not hear it because I'm not able to share my audio right now when I'm this tool.
Okay. So not a problem, Marcin. So yeah, I think so. This is how you can actually add, multiple trigger animations of multiple options at the same time with the same trigger.
Sorry, Kartik, I lost you for a second trying to solve this issue.
That's okay. That's okay, Marcin. So.
I'm listening.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So so this is how you can actually add multiple trigger animations to the same trigger, and there are many options available. So to show more of this, we're going to launch other lesson. So Marcin, I would request you to close this experience and let's start creating a new experience. So this time around, we will create an example, maybe that's useful for primary or secondary schools. So let's create a new metaverse builder experience again. And this time around, let's place a classroom. If you can pick any classroom, Marcin.
Classroom.
Yes.
You want the first one?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Great. So right now, as you can see, we have Marcin's virtual avatar. We are right now in the classroom, and Marcin is moving left and right to give us a quick look of the environment that we are in. So, which is quite nice. So, Marcin, let's choose a topic. Maybe let's choose some topic about physics. Maybe we'll search for matter. So, if you can search for matter. Yeah. So what Marcin is doing now is like he's adding a new asset in the same environment. So you can actually add multiple assets in the same scene. So, and that's what Marcin is doing now. So he's selecting, maybe search for matter, if it's
matter.
Okay. Yeah. Or you can actually pick the Newton one as well. So I'm
matter.
Yeah.
Matter.
Please go to the XR library. Yeah. Okay, I think we can pick the atom structure. So, okay. So that's not the one that I'm looking for, but it's okay. So yeah, let's try to play with different 3D models. So yeah, that is good. So and as you can see, so we actually placed one atomic structure here on one student's bench here. So Marcin, let's add another one. Maybe this time let's add a human heart.
Human heart.
Okay. Thank you. So what we're doing now is, as you can see, like, this is just a sample. We are just trying to, create some classroom environment with virtual objects, with different contents that the students can join into this virtual experience and then play with the 3D models to learn more about them. And the AI avatar is always there to guide them. So the students never feel alone because the avatar can be the virtual teacher. The teachers can choose their own avatars. And as Marcin is doing right now, they can actually play with the assets, move around, explore in their own way, and also, use the knowledge portals to learn. So, Marcin, let's do like this. Let's go to the atomic structure. Okay. So this time for the atomic structure, so let's try to add an assessment. So let's try to add one assessment here. So if you can see, you can also add assessments. This is the assessment page here. Let's add a quiz, maybe, Marcin. Should be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Choose nucleus. Yeah. Okay. So we are now in a creation mode, right? So that's why we are actually creating an option.
I'll take over for a second, if that's okay, Carl.
Sure, Marcin. Yeah.
In here, all of the typical functionalities of the EON-XR, Merge-XR, special meetings that already are in the Metaverse Builder, as well as within this new options for also use the Interact functionality. So we have ability, of course, to choose the type of the question we would like to do. And we can, of course, type it. We can use the built-in functionality of a text-to-speech, which is either on the mobile device or either automatically generated. What is the role of the nucleus? What are the components? And as you can see, typing whatever the ability is possible, as well as choosing the activity name. So it could be the activity name. Well, let's do that quickly, saying the role of nucleus. And we can change the question as well. Once again, using natural interfaces, natural way of interacting with the computer. What are the structures in the nucleus? What are the structure in nucleus? And we can use, for instance, options to also type the, proton, neutron, proton, my pronunciation wasn't so good, so I can always type that in. Atoms, neutrons, electrons, or maybe we'll see here we will give the quark name. And if I'm not the physicist per se, but let's say I'm going to be more traditional with the multiple answers when the proton and neutron is the correct one, and assigning the time for the activity, multi questions, and this activity has already been added, as well as we can use the identify activity, locate activity, which allows, so identify focuses on the students or a learner, trainee, to identify the parts and give it a name, when locate is focusing on asking a person to locate among the multiple parts a specific one or multiple components of that specific one we are the most interested in. And not forgetting about the 3D recording options, where we can record our avatar to do the demonstrations. And this is also a very simple element. Right now, everything I'm doing is actually recorded, so we can use those, all features related to the demonstration, where you can use the virtual pointer, we can move around, we can change the structures, and in the meantime also use a trigger the interactions as well. Plus we can select the elements when they should be in the correct order. We have that ability as well. So for instance, selecting some of the electron in here and selecting, for instance, 2 of the electrons, as well as internal parts. Depends, of course, on the model you're going to choose. You can do that, not forgetting that we still have the freedom to interact with the objects, move them, and they will be snapping back to the position that they're supposed to be in here. So that's how to create the various types of the assignment and assessment inside the EON-XR, and they will be even automatically possible to be used as a 3D assignments. That means the students, the learners, will have ability to watch and learn, as well as also be asked to repeat the process step by step and be assessed and presented some information about it. Okay, go ahead, Kartik.
Thank you, Marcin. So let's go back to the interact icon, and this time around we'll actually add an interaction trigger that only plays the animation once the assessment is completed. So it's like a reward, for the students, or it can also be like a good learning curve if they make a mistake. So let's see how to do that. So once again, we're going to pick the animation icon, and you can place it anywhere, Marcin. Thank you. And pick any animation of your choice. And this time around, if you can scroll down, you'll see something called assessment passed. So this is where once the student has performed that assessment, if his answer is correct, then he can see, the animation that would be played. Please select next. And as you can see, it's also giving us a summary of all the assessments available for us. So we'll pick the assessment that is needed. In this case, atom structure.
The quiz. I'm going to put the quiz, role of the nucleus, the quiz that I did. So if somebody's going to answer correctly the quiz, then it's this going to be happening.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, let's do that. Done. There you go. That's as easy as it is. So when the student actually play the lesson, when they completed the assessment, then the animation will be played. So it's that simple. So I think, Marcin, we are like 50 minutes into the session. So in the interest of the time, let's show other interactions options available in the same classroom. Okay. So can you please select the plus icon and select the interact option again. So let's scroll around. So there are different options available as well. So we're going to place these various particle effects randomly in this room. Of course, you can actually use it, for contextually. Like for example, you can actually place the fire, and that can be used to kind of teach, how to turn off the fire with a fire extinguisher, for example. Or it can also be kind of used as a part of special effects in your scene. So, Marcin, have you added this fire?
Yeah.
Okay, so seems I can't see it. Okay. There you go. Now we can see it. So Marcin put the table on fire. So it's great. So
okay. Then I'm going to go also with the other elements. Like, for instance, a smoke. When there is a fire, there must be a smoke.
Yeah.
We can place it and having a generation of the smoke. We can also control later on the size of those objects, what will be the surface area that we would like to use for the specific activity to be attached to. So when I, for instance, will put the very abstract elements of, for instance, once again, I'm going to put a fire as an energy generation on top of the object. Just I need to be, because I'm in the classroom, so I will select now the object here of an atom, and adding the interactivity here. For instance, once again, if we have a fire, selecting on top of it, confirming, and you can see that it will be attached to the elements, as well as we can do the surface area to the trigger or part. Confirming. We can also later on even edit those informations about it. Plus, if there is a fire, let's put once again the smoke attached to the elements. Will be there. Same selecting, confirming the object. And also the interactivity, like for instance the explosion, which I will also as an abstract, I'm going to just add it to this object as well, having it there as a very. So when we want to trigger something and have some interactivity, there is a possibility that we can simply have them added there. We can add them to the surface area, which we can confirm. We can also later on scale those elements, how big it will be. And in the play mode, we will be able to trigger them based on the setup we're going to decide in EON Interact itself. Okay, Kartik. Just one thing, because the play, I don't see the option to play from here straight away. So let me just upload. And it's there. What else should we show?
Okay, so I think we have actually shown most of it that we have done today. So since we are actually 53 minutes into the session, so Marcin, maybe we'll take a pause here and we'll let the participants ask any questions that they might have for us. So all the participants, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. You can actually see the hand icon on the bottom right of your screen. You can use that to raise your hand to ask your questions.
If you want to do it verbally, you can always type in. We're also checking the Q&A. Can I upload quiz from a local machine? There is a question like that. So the answer to it is there is a possibility, of course, to use a copy and paste options in regards to the quiz questions instead of in sense of the communication with some sort of existing quizzes, like tools that are already pre-generating quizzes. Currently, we don't have such of a tool. We have ability to integrate it with via LTI with the learning management system and collect some information via that. And as the lesson, there is one little secret, maybe, because all of the experiences are somehow saved within the experience. There is a possibility to have some sort of manual copy and paste to easy creating. If you have multiple quizzes or if you have them to be used among them, there is a possibility also to use mainly an option to have the quiz from a text files into the solution. Any other questions? Please go ahead. And I know today wasn't the most. Are those features available on mobile devices? So to answer that, Ivan, the most of the features we're developing right now, we see that the biggest and the highest use is on the mobile devices. And yes, those will be available on the mobile, considering the fact that most of the students or most of the AR technologies is only working on the mobile devices. So for that, both the iOS devices, iPads and iPhones, as well as the Android devices that supports AR core technology, which is the augmented reality technology, will support that. And that features also those new products will be available to everybody within the trial period automatically, as well as for those institutions when there is a license available that will be also there. While I have another, I'm looking on to if there are any other questions.
There's another question, Marcin.
Which I'm just checking, browsing right now. Here. Yes, this is recorded, but what we will do also, because the formal release of this, and because of the technical difficulties at the beginning of this session and the formal release being on the 12th, please expect that you will be also targeted with an email with information. We will share some pre-recorded, better quality materials, uninterrupted materials where we can show that those features and those products more in details. I have okay, so that's some of the people needed to leave, and yeah, I'm checking. Yes,
Yeah, I think someone raised their hand, Marcin.
yeah, I see the question. There is a question en français. Est-ce que cet avatar se base sur l'internet pour répondre à nos questions de recherche? Oui, c'est ça possible. Maintenant, c'est avatar. Excuse me, sorry. So yes, it's possible that the avatar will be answering your questions. So the visual format of the avatar will be depends on what you're going to have set it up as a default creator. So every person has a possibility to have a multiple avatar. So who is the owner of the experience? First creator, that kind of avatars will be there. And as per the answering the questions, we use, as you probably see, some AI technology, artificial intelligence engines and the technologies in behind to also being able in the future within the something called EON AI, that will be also able to answer some of the questions. Currently, we're still making sure, because you all know that those different automated bots and the autoresponders based on the various search engines, we're making the necessary optimizations related to, of course, making sure that the answers are secure and we're following the rules and principles related to the safe use of the artificial intelligence, to making sure that the answers are not promoting any specific solutions, that the answers are universal, they're not discriminative, and so on. So there are lots of the other things that is happening on at the moment, Mamadou. I hope that answers your questions. And that will be also related to, of course, answering some of the research questions as well. Is importing own 3D model possible? Absolutely. So we have a support. So first of all, you could have the import from a mobile device itself, but also, and let me just quickly demonstrate in this case, when you are on the EON-XR, and if you are a licensed user, so right now, as you can see, I can start for free. If you haven't tried, I do strongly recommend to do so. You can also use it on the desktop by downloading the necessary software. And very soon, and I'm just going to kind of maybe share a little bit of the highlights. There will be also the ability to download the application directly on the Oculus, on the Steam VR, and so on. But be staying on the topic for a moment on the import of the model. So when you sign in, you have various abilities to create and bring multiple assets into this. So one of the options here, and I'm going to just switch institution to the Excel library. One of the options is, while you're creating an experience, either it's on the desktop or on the mobile, when you're creating, you will be able to choose what is your source. And there will be also ability to choose the 3D models, which is the models that are existing in the library. And that will be one. But there is a Sketchfab, which is already an import from a third-party library, and we have a collaboration with a company called Sketchfab to bring various models that are available on the library very simply into that. So that's one of the way to import. The other way to import is by using the import 3D assets. So under this icon here, you have import 3D models options. And in the new version also, there is an option to use the various formats as well to import, and I will also demonstrate that just so you see maybe what's cooking. So showing you more on the new thing. So let me log into the preview version. So in the new UI, on the website, you're going to have a marketplace which will be ability to purchase and trade your content, your experiences, and we will have a separate webinar on that as well. But in here, there is an import 3D assets, import 360 assets, as well as we can use the import from the marketplace, old marketplace called the CG Trader Marketplace right now, that allows the people to use the credits. So here, as per the imported 3D file formats, we have a support for various CAT computer-aided design 3D native formats. We have a support for a DCC, digital content creation format, as well as universal format. If you're searching for my advice within the experience, the best 3D formats to use is a GLB as a open standard for the 3D graphic 3D models. GLB, it's supported format by multiple softwares, including free 3D modeling Blender, 3ds Max, and many other 3D modeling packages allowing to use the GLB as a format for storing the 3D models, animation, and multiple other information about the models itself. Okay, so that's to answer the question on the import. Looking over if there are any other questions.
Thank you, Marcin. So any other questions from anyone? So there's another question, Marcin. So do you want to take that as well?
Yeah. So if there is a situation, so if you are accessing this element for free, so within the so-called the freemium version, where you might not have all the functionality. So that's the truth, that you can create the elements based on the existing library of the content. So when you have a free account and you have some limitation related both to the time and to the number of the experiences you can create and edit, and the import is also not that possible. So that is something, if you depends of course on your localization. We have lots of the partners, lots of the university, colleges, and enterprise partners around the world within our network. So if you're interested in trying out a little bit more, please let us know. And the best way to contact with us is either via an email, support@eonreality.com, or directly to the responding to Kartik, maybe, as he's the host of this meeting, and we will assign to you somebody in the region that will be able to do the demonstrations if necessary and provide you information about all the different technical aspects of the platform. All right.
Thank you, Marcin. So maybe we'll give another minute for anyone to ask any questions. So there's actually another question, and I think it's in French.
Je ne peux pas faire apparaître. Okay, so to be able to see, I assume you cannot see these on augmented reality. That might be, Aisha, that might be based on the fact that your mobile device possibly might have a challenge with the augmented reality. For that, it's actually nothing related to the Google, but if you search AR Core Google devices, so there is actually a list of the devices that are available for, Google AR Core. So there is on the Google website, the EON Reality in our solution, EON-XR, we're using different technologies, licensing different technologies and using, and one of those is AR Core. And AR Core devices is the list. There is a list of the full devices that are supported with an AR Core in different regions. So we have a separate Android devices, Android, Google Play, as well as you know, China has a separate separate format of the Android system. So the list of the different devices that are supported are available here. I'm going to also put it into the comments. So in the chat, you should have the link to the list of the devices that supports augmented reality on the Android. For the iOS, is a little bit easier because, as you know, Apple doesn't develop that many devices, so they have a technology called ARKit, and most of the iOS devices will work fine with this technology. How to make your own animation. So for that, yes, first of all, some of those things you already show in EON Interact, that we have some of the predefined types of the animation that we can assign to the objects. So as long as your 3D asset, your model that you're using to create the experience, has an ability to have a dissected part, so you can select individual parts. To every of those parts, you can add any predefined animation. Separately, you can do the 3D recording. So the 3D recording allowing you to, by using a grab, drag, drop, and other elements of the EON-XR, to build a semi-animation format. And the third thing is, within any 3D modeling packages, like a Blender 3ds Max that I mentioned before. Those softwares have also ability to create animations, and there are even it's not the free software. Gestalator, it's also recommended by the consortium responsible for the GLB 3D file format. There is a software called Gestalator, which allows you to create animation, but you cannot use any AR, any VR. So for that, you can easily save your model or export your model to the GLB file format from the software and then use it on the EON-XR with all the aspects of the knowledge injection, knowledge portals, automated artificial intelligence, as well as AR, VR formats. So the animations some of the animation can be done within the EON-XR. Some of the animations is better to do it outside in the third-party softwares and bring that animated model into the portal. Does it answer your question? I hope it does. Thank you very much for those questions. Questions are very useful. I'm looking also. I'm a biological engineer. How to specialize in an avatar? All right, great. So in that case, in sense of the avatars, as I just mentioned, I do recommend also that each of you, and I know time is running, so I'll just going to kind of close this with this question, and later on we can take it offline. Apologies for all of the technical difficulties. But when you log into the platform, you have your personal details, and there is a section for the 3D avatars. And we're using something, we call it RPM, but it stands for Ready Player Me Portal. So for that, you can have your portals, you can have even your account on Ready Player Me. And when you're signing into that, and you will see that actually EON Reality, we have our own application certified by this company called Ready Player Me to be used different avatars. So this is once again showcasing that we do not try to reinvent the wheel. We use what's existing, and in here you can see that I have my avatars in the various pieces of software like EON-XR, Deep Motion, and the other types of the experiences I'm using. And those avatars, if I will refresh, just those avatars will be available, so I can easily choose any of those avatars that will pop up in here, so I can have different alter egos for different purposes, for different formats, and connect to the meeting using them. Plus, of course, there is ability to import that. Okay, so so maybe summary for you, Kartik. I'm gonna be quiet and you can do maybe a summary.
Thank you, Marcin. Thanks a lot for answering all the questions. Thank you all the participants for joining in today's session. So we will be sharing this recording for your reference, and we will also be sharing the presentation deck as well, so they can actually take a look at it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to me. My ID is available here, or you can also reach out to our support group as well. Thank you once again for joining today. We sincerely apologize for the delay in our start and also for the technical difficulties that we faced today. Sorry about that, and we will definitely address it, and we'll ensure that in our next webinar session we will not repeat this issue again. So thank you all for joining today. See you again in the next webinar session. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.